Hello there and welcome to this CARVECO Maker Plus tutorial. So in today's tutorial we're going to put together an English Knight's shield. Now I've already laid the work up. I've found a very nice piece of mahogany which I've laid up on top of, I think it's pine, but I'm not quite sure. It's like a man-made sort of pine, but the backing part of the piece doesn't really matter. But you really need a nice good piece of material such as mahogany or hewn pine or some exotic woods like that, and it comes out really nice. Now just a reminder to all of you out there that below this video in the video description area is a CARVECO discount code, which is for all the 3 programs, which is CARVECO Maker, CARVECO Maker Plus, which we'll be using today, and CARVECO the main program. Regardless of whether you're a business or a hobbyist, the discount is the same across the board. So we'll jump in and we'll create this. Okay, so this is the opening page and it just brings up some of the projects that you've been working on. So we're going to come over here and go new model. Okay, so we need to put in here 195 and the Y is 305. I'm actually going 5mm over past the material. The real measurements are 190 by 300, and when we cut it you'll see the reason why. High resolution, and we're going to put the orientation in the middle. I find doing a job like this that if you orientate the middle of the work, it's easier to work with. And press OK. Okay, so seeing a yellow page on here tells me I'm already in the 3D screen. If you want to work in the 2D layer, there's just a tab up here. Now that's a 2D screen, but in actual fact we're going to go straight into the 3D. I'm going to come straight up here into the relief library, and I'm going to scroll through until I come to a blank shield. Now these are backboards then, as it were. Although these are 3D, the particular one I'm looking for has already a concave in it. So you can actually do this in CARVECO Maker as well. There's a ready-made shield there for you if you would want to use one of those. But here's the one I'm looking for. So you just left click over it, drag it, and drop it in. Okay, very big. So I think we better make that a little smaller. Oh yes, it's full size pretty well. So at the moment, if you notice what I'm doing over here, I'm going to put the lock on, the aspect ratio lock. Now one click and you lock the width and height, but you haven't locked the Z. So the second click over the lock locks the 3 together. So I'm going to say, let me see, width is going to be 180, 186, I think, 186 or 187, I think. So 187, 28. Now that's a little bit high still. So now I've got that down to a size. I want to unlock it and just choose this one, and I want that 25 millimeters. 0.0. I'm going to apply that, and it nearly fits in our piece of work. I want that to fit into the dead center of the work. So, and I can see it's a little off here, so I'm just going to say, let me say I want this 0. And 0, which should put me straight in the middle of the work. Apply. There we go. So it jumped straight into the work, or into the center of the work. I'm going to stretch this a little bit more, because otherwise there's going to be a lot of waste. So I'm just going to stretch it a bit in length and in height here, rather. I'm going to stretch that to, let me see, 290, so 295. Apply that. Okay, and it's still in the middle, I can tell by this. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Let's, okay, I want to merge high, which is fine on here. So I'm going to paste that down now, and it'll change to a goldy colour. There you go. We'll have a look at that. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. That's exactly what I'm looking for. That's just fine. Okay, so what I'm doing up here to change the aspect of it, I'm just clicking on that little tag down in the corner of that box, which brings me up 4 general ones, but I am able to actually move this around if I wanted to. Okay, so what we're going to do now is place on top of this 3D relief that we've just put here, we're going to place on top of that in these 4 individual panels. So let's have a look at what we've got here. Oh, there's a couple of dragons. Okay, so we're going to keep this sort of an English type theme. So, okay, we're talking about knights. We normally have castles, so we're going to pull this castle in, and we're going to put it there in the middle. And this time I'm going to pull it around. I'm not going to worry about locking anything at all. So what I'm going to do is pull it like that and like this to pretty well fill that. I'm going to take it up. Now you can actually move them around by using the arrows. That's what I'm doing. I'm just pressing the arrows. It moves it roughly about 1 millimeter, something like that. I'll take it sort of up, not quite in the middle, but whatever looks cosmetically pleasing. Maybe a little touch more out here. Okay, I don't want to blend into the side there. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. And it's it looks cosmetically about right, but I need it a bit deeper. So I think I'm going to set the Z for 3mm. So what I'm going to do now is, if I better apply that. So what I'm going to do now is scroll through the different pasting applications until I come to this particular one, and this is add. So what I'm telling CARVECO is that I want you to add this secondary relief on top of the relief that we've already put there. So that's what this means, add. And I'm going to paste it down. And you can see now, hopefully, that if I just come out of this, let's have a look here. You should be able to see there that it is added it on top of that original one that was there. So I'm going to do the same now to each of these panels very quickly. So we're going to open up the relief library again. I think we're going to choose a crown this time, put a crown here. Same process. This time I think I'm going to lock them all and make this, let me see, in width we're going to try, I think we should be able to just about over double the size of that. We're going to go 55 possibly, and yep, that looks good to me. And it's 3.6mm high. That probably will be okay. Well, we'll keep everything uniform. We'll say 3mm, so we'll unlock and alter that to a 0. And we'll say apply. And I'm happy with that. I'm going to move it over that way slightly with the arrows. I think that's about right. And it's about the same dimensions as the castle, as in height, and it's in the center of the panel. Cosmetically, that's going to be fine. And again, add and paste it down. And there it is. Yeah, that looks as though it's going to be just fine. Let's choose a couple more. So I'm going to apply. And I'm going to paste. If you notice there, you can see the feet just, the claws just coming out of the panel there, out on the outside. It looks quite effective when you've done it. Okay, I'm happy with that now. So we're going to come out of this. And we're going to go Toolpaths, and what I'm going to do is just use one single tool. Now I'll show you that tool. Okay, so it might be a little difficult to actually see. What have I got here that's black? Oh, this is black. There you go. I've got the light actually turned off above me. So I don't know whether you can see that. Can you see that? That's a tapered tool for cutting. So what I'm going to do is just use this singular tool, and we're going to cut in, and we're going to cut this whole job with it. Now I do this because I know that mahogany, if you cut it within something like an 8mm or 10mm end mill, it just makes a big fray. It looks like a hedgehog by the time you've finished it. And what I've found is if you use these tapered cutting tools, you can do it in one cut and less hand finishing, you know, near zero hand finishing. So this is what I do. Now these tools are not cheap. This particular one is about $60. So they're not cheap. I suppose you can buy cheaper ones, but this is a carbide tool. So it lasts a very long time. Okay. So the Toolpath's 3D machining relief. Okay, let's just make sure I have got this selected. I think I have. Got the whole thing selected. Yeah, it's selected. Whole relief. Yeah, it'll come and it's going to take a little bit of extra time to cut it because I'm going to start off, although I set the 0 here in the middle, and that's where I'm going to set my XYZ 0 with that tool. It's then going to come down to here and work back and forth in a raster. Raster means it's going to just go back and forth, and cut from here and work its way all the way through. So yes, it is the whole relief, and I'm going to go straight to a finishing cut option, which is here. So select. So I'm going to select the tool. I don't know whether this tool actually exists in here or whether I might be able to show you how to make one. This is a metal. Engraving, let me see, steel. Let me close this a minute. Close that. Close that. Let's do it with metal. Let's look down here. We're going to look for wood and plastic. Here we go. End mill, ball mill. No, it doesn't exist. Okay, and that's good because I can show you an extra step here that a lot of people ask me for, and that is how to make a tool in the tool listing. It's very easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the 1.5mm ball mill. Okay, and I'm going to copy that one. And I'm going to select the copy. Okay, so I select the copy. Then I'm going to edit that copy. So I'm going to put some different dimensions in here. So it's a ball nose. Well, it's a special ball nose. It's a taper. So what I normally do is I put a capital T there for tapered. Then, and I can tell you that this is a 1mm R, so 1 millimeter. Ooh, don't want capitals. 1 millimeter. And I will put a capital R in there because it's a 1mm radius ball, which means it's 2mm overall. So I'll put a gap there. Not particularly worried about anything else other than, say here, we'll put here, the diameter is 2mm, 2.0. Step down, well, you can put anything, but I'm going to say 3 3 millimeters for something to put in there. You can edit that on each particular job when you select it, and for a finishing cut it's just going to go straight in and go for it anyway. It'll do the whole lot, the whole 24 millimeter in one cut. I will set this is it'll be 22,000 comma there. Now 22,000. I'm going to leave the rapids as they are, the rapid feed rate that is, and the plunge, because I'm going to alter that in the program right now. So this is just a general setting for it. And press OK, and press, let's just make sure it's accepted, that 22. Yeah, yep, okay, and we're going to select that. Okay. No. Okay, so there we are. Now this is where you can go in and change the settings, the general settings, to suit whatever material you are cutting. So here we are. Okay, step over. I normally use yeah, I can use 0.15, all right, or anything from 0.15 to 0.8 when you're doing it in, you know, sort of one cut 25 millimeter deep. So I'm going to go to 0.18. I find that works fairly well. Step down, I'll leave it at 3, it doesn't really matter. Feed rate. Now I can run my machine, it's a semi-industrial machine that I've made myself. You know, this isn't a 6040 or a 6090 that, you know, you bought on eBay. So I mean, I can ramp this up quite a bit. I'm going to say 60 millimeters a second. But in Mach 3, which I'm using, I can start this off at any percentage lower than that. I can start it up at, if I wanted to, 10% of that, which is like 6 millimeters a second, and then ramp it up afterwards when I know everything's going well. Plunge rate, I can increase that a lot too. I'm going to say 25. 22,000 RPM, that's okay. Tool number 1, I don't have a tool changer, so it doesn't matter. Multiple Z passes, no. Lead in, no. Yeah, ramp, yes. I like to ramp in, you know, sort of bring the tool in gradually, not sort of just come straight in and off you go. It's always better to ramp in. Plunge height 20, yep, that's fine. Although it's, yeah, that's okay. Zigzag angle 10 millimeters, ramp length 5. Yep, that's all okay. Pretty standard stuff. Safe Z. No, this is way too much. Safe Z. 10 millimeters is fine. I'm going to alter that to 10 millimeters too. That's fine. Material is. I'm going to put that as 26 actually. 0 at the top of the work. That's okay. I'm going to say okay. I'm going to name that as test 1 of 1. Because believe it or not, this is the first time I've used this new CNC router, and we'll see how it goes. So I'll calculate now. Big sea of red, lots of cut lines, which is fine, and we're going to come out of that, and I'm going to simulate that fast. Simulate fast, simulate. Okay, let's go. So this is a raster, and generally what you see on here is exactly what you're going to get on your material. So if you see a mistake on here, it's going to come out in the material when you cut it. It's more of a goldy colour, so I'm just going through a few to see, just to show you really what some of them look like. There we go. That is actually more like, but it doesn't bring out the 3D-ness in it. Blue wax, beach. That's quite nice, isn't it? That's beach. $9 satin gold. Anyway, when you do yours, you can choose whatever material you like. I particularly like bronze, actually. I think that's very nice. Incidentally, what I'm doing here, I'm hovering over the material and I'm pressing down the left and right key together, and you can move it around bodily, you know, wherever you want. Medium oak. That's more like it. Okay. Okay, well, so the next thing we need to do now is to save the toolpath, and I shall put a flash drive in. Okay, now to save the toolpath, you just come to Toolpaths, and there's the icon there for a floppy disk. Click on that, and yep, this is it. So it's test 1. Test 1 of 1. Now a good general code to save in is G-code millimeter tap. Okay, no frills. You can either save it in that one, or you can actually save it into, scroll down through here, there's many here. Oh. A lot. I'm using Mach 3, Mach 3, that's Mach 2, Mach 3 millimeter. You can either save it in G-code millimeter tap or the Mach 3 millimeter. Doesn't matter whether it's fourth axis or rotary axis or what, as long as it's a Mach 3 millimeter. Well, that is actually millimeter tap. It's fine, but I normally save in G-code millimeter tap. Yeah, it's in my J drive and save. And I'm just going to check to see if it is there. Yep, there it is there on my flash drive. Quite a big file. It's not too bad though. And we're going to come out of that and close that. And well, that's it really. Okay, so that is how to put a multiple relief and add reliefs on top of reliefs in CARVECO Maker Plus. You can also do that in CARVECO Maker. All the reliefs that are in this program, Maker Plus, are also in CARVECO Maker. And don't forget, if you're interested in any of the CARVECO programs, there is a discount code under this video in the video description area. So the next video, we're going to cut this on my CNC router, and I'll show you how to do that, how to set it up right from the very beginning, how to set the work offset, and I hope you enjoy it, like I hope you've enjoyed this video. So don't forget, subscribe and like, and come back and see me again. So bye for now.